Yes! Hello! Welcome to another matchup of the joust. This time here we have in the color blue, it's PatDelMuerte playing as a 2-block dynasty. Going with the worker elephant, which is gonna give me absolute nightmares, especially when farms come along. Going over, no, that's the scout, so scouting the bottom side here, getting an early sheep back into the base, that's great. So I have this house. Did he make a mistake here? I think he did. I know, I'm just... Gotcha, that's not a thing. On the other side here we have Delhi, played by Kanki, the color red, and very interesting. We don't get, in the joust at least, too many matchups between different variants. They're very different. The last set of variants, they play so wildly different, much more different than Jeanne d'Arc and French, I feel like. So this shouldn't feel like somewhat of a mirror in that regard. Well, either way, Kanki with 4 on food, loads of workers on wood. I wonder where that's gonna come into play. On the other side for Pat here, 8 on food, 2 on gold. Looks like he's trying to wage up. As quickly as he can, of course. 2-block, very powerful in Feudal Age, it seems. They get a lot of their tempo and their defensiveness, really. Their forces are really flexible, though. I've seen offensive offensive forts here. Oh, we do have a scout wandering under the town center. That's not good. That's not good. Alright, on the other hand here for Kanki, not really... Not getting the upgrades from the mosque, so that's a bit of a mistake there. Is that the Tower of... No, that's a barracks. Where's the Tower of Victory? Oh, the Tower of Victory is here for Pat. That's what I wanted to go for. In the early game, they have the same landmarks, so... Yeah, this kind of confusion could happen. For the Tower of Victory, attack speed of elephants by +20 when produced from buildings within influence. Influence, by the way, if you're a new player. Let me just... no, I am in Pat's side here. So the Tower of Victory, and I think it's mosques only, will create an influence. And that influence is spread out by all the military buildings. So if you have anything within that influence, you can have several different unconnected areas of influence, I suppose. But if you do end up getting anything within that influence, they gain that bonus. Anything outside of the influence doesn't get the bonus. So something to think about here for sure. Kanki, on the other hand, getting spears. Spears in this matchup is... Or Dark Age spears in this matchup is remarkably interesting. And now we're getting efficient productions. Efficient production is very good in the early game. I think in the late game it loses a lot of its power when you have so many resources that building extra military buildings is not really that important. But saving 150 wood at this stage of the game and getting the production of 2 barracks, now that's powerful. Oh, Kanki building walls around Pat. Oh, but Pat is 2-block. I don't think this is the best use of his resources. Those elephants are gonna tear through these walls. But they are being made with spears, which means that they at least will be able to fight those elephants really well. At least resource-wise, they are very efficient, but one thing that happens in 2-block games, and Delhi games too, I guess, but really focusing on the 2-block aspect here, is that you always want to keep those elephants healed up. So sometimes you do take inefficient fights, but they... Oh, we're getting a scout fight. I hate these scout fights. But point being, you get into these situations where like you do take inefficient fights, you lose a lot more HP than the HP you dealt as damage. But you come back home, you heal, and it's as if nothing ever happened. So worker kills wise, it's nothing. We're getting a stable thrown down. Use the Tower of Victory, of course. No mosque yet here for Pat. He does have the one worker elephant, says right there. Getting a range. But can Tuglak? Yeah, Tuglak cannot get a mosque in Feudal Age or in Dark Age. So that was my bad. Ritter elephants, though, they're quite inexpensive. Really good for Tuglak. I say quite inexpensive. They do cost 180 food, but cost no gold. So that's a massive plus on a civ that really tries to set up their game here. Ooh, look at Pat here trying to lure the boar into the spears. But yeah, I'm not sure I like this from Pat here. Elephants, yeah, I do like the elephants. They're going to be very tanky. But he really needs the range. He needs the range. He needs the range. He's not going to get anything done without the range, but he's also going to get trapped inside his own base, but the walls aren't fully up yet. And you need a lot more than a single spear to kill a single raider elephant. Ooh, negative micro from Kanki. Alright, but he does get the spear. Ooh, but like, see? That's what I'm talking about. That is a one-for-one trade. Kanki will take these any day. Loads of spears here now. Oh, watch out, you don't want to get those stoneworkers caught. Pat's probably a little bit flabbergasted here. Wow, look at that spear protecting gold from ever getting taken. But, no, Kanki, you don't want the spear... Excuse me, you don't want the spear to get underneath the town center. Alright, the Tuglahabat Fort. That's gonna shut down a lot of aggression, and that's especially gonna win back the gold here. We don't need any more stone, and yeah, we are closed off. Look, can Kanki attack? How to deal with this defensiveness here? Because everything is within a fort or the town center, so spears, one of the worst units in the game. Now Kanki, he could definitely just fast castle here and get his own elephants, which are way stronger than the raider elephants. And in the meantime, he gains that tech advantage after doing this. That's one of the things that I see. This game is so chaotic already. But keeping a Tuglak player within their own walls, not too bad, but these walls are very fragile, as I've said before. So as soon as Pat feels like he's ready to take on everything, there we go. There we go, this wall shouldn't take too long. In the meantime, Kanki will be spending a lot of wood remaking these walls. And look at that, just the range on this Tuglahabat fort. It is a government of Bakar, which means that farms and houses generate food per minute, so that's why the houses around the fort. Look at that, forcing Kanki to just spend so much wood getting all of these walls around his own base. But 4 elephants, you would need, what, 3 spears per elephant to deal with them quite effectively. But we have archers here, and the archers really are the bane of the spear's existence. Kanki's feudal age now. Kanki, I don't think he has time now to age up. But if he had diverted that into gold, right? And if it had been a little bit more targeted, getting just enough spears to get the walls he needed, he could be going up in age. Interesting that he did go with Dome of the Faith here. He does want to get those upgrades as early as possible. Alright, Kanki is trying to age up, it seems. That's pretty good. He has 11 spears. Wow, why is Pat destroying this? So this happens all the time, right? He just got to feudal age. There's no way he has army. You know he has spears out in the field. But you have the counter to the spears. And archers trade in way too effectively. Oh, the spears are in. Yeah, because Kanki kept the scout active. There we go. Kanki keeping the scout active. This is gonna have to leave. Pat might even lose a worker here. Yeah, a worker, maybe 2. Yeah, but Pat just trying to keep up the tempo with the army? Kanki needs to age up. He's collecting so much wood here, I really have no idea. Why? Other than there's no other resource available where he has map control? That's really the problem with these, Oh, this build is so fragile against any civ with some really heavy cavalry that can really tear down those walls. Because if your opponent stays stuck inside the walls, it's another conversation we're having here. Look at Pat even sacrificing an elephant to make sure that the spears go down. Not looking particularly good here for Kanki, especially since now we're talking about equal numbers, and the archer was tanking the damage, so all of those spears that were in the base are dead now. This wall did not go up, but we have defensive towers. Defensive towers, like, the strategy from Kanki is so all in. Like, he's now floating a lot of wood here. He needs farms, but he doesn't really have a lot of space underneath the town center. And, like, usually I wouldn't bother getting space under the town center, especially with civs that want to be very aggressive. But if you think you're gonna lose map control, you really want that space underneath a PC. No, what is this wall? What is the wall? Using the resource as a wall. He has archers, mate. You can't wall like this. That wall should have been from here over to here. What is this wall? And he's also only attacking this side here, but these raider elephants just they deal so much damage. Yeah, okay, you have spears, but like there are a ton of archers. There's no way he comes back here. Like all of the workers, where are they going? Because of the fort, there's even less chance. Alright, the elephants are in. The elephants can tank TC fire. The archers can't. You will lose all of your archers if you try to use them to tank TC fire, but I don't even know. I don't even know. What's he doing? What's he doing? That's so many workers out here in the wild. He doesn't have houses now, so the town center is idle. Oh, it doesn't count towards idle time. That's crazy. Alright, Dome of the Faith is going down. No, he's gonna do that for 3 deer. That's insane. Nobody really using the golden pit aspect of having a lot of gold in the center of the map here, which is insane to me. Oh, did Pat notice that? Oh, Pat does not notice that. This was just to protect the archers against horsemen. Like, Pat is overthinking it. Pat is overthinking it. Kanki now has 0 food. Pat is way over on the food department. Oh, and he's gonna close the walls. That's so sneaky. Oh, I know what he's gonna try to do! I know what he's gonna try to do! No, don't! Oh, there you go, he adjusted. Because if this triggers, Pat knows something's up. Alright, so he's just abandoning home. There's no way all of this goes down before the workers and the spears get over to the other side. Red brick bastions. Oh, increasing arrow damage and range. And that fort is gonna win in the game. Alright, Pat sees this. Yeah, Pat sees this. Ignore, there you go. What's he building? Kanki spent all of his gold, by the way. Traded it away. Look at that, just passing. Don't worry. I'm going for the TC, except there's the Tulach fort and there's a Raider Elephant. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, there's not a chance this goes down, is there? Especially now that the upgrade has come through. Gonna be a bit of a base trade, and I think with the Dumbos, Pat just actually wins. It's insane that we're getting to a base trade. All of the spears are down as well. Yeah, now that the archers are here attacking, so we have archers and the fort with 10 workers inside. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go down well for Kanki. Kanki down to 28 workers, and the town center is getting repaired. Not enough wood to repair. Yeah, but the Pat on the other side did end up getting it faster. So that is game number 1 going to Pat. It's orange. It is Kanki with the Chinese. Chinese definitely a civ that he plays a lot better with. I feel like the Delhi strategy has legs to go on, but it's like the palisade walls and the fact that you're doing it in Dark Age with spears. I don't think works so well. On the other side here, the Chinese do have a very good building to do all of that with. On the other side here in the color red, it's PatDelMuerte with the English. And yeah, just a typical English build, except no farms in the early game. Let's see how it develops though. So Kanki not building the Imperial Official, I don't think he did. Yeah, and taking spears right underneath the town center, not the usual build. But he might be saving his resources here. Building a house as well. This is very un-Chinese, if you ask me. But I'm sure he has his reasons. Let's take a look at the map. This is mega random, but it's kind of a fair mega random, to be quite honest with you. So there's this massive wood line. There's also this decently sized wood line here for Pat. And this one a little bit far away, right? Not even covered by the town center like this one, which is massively covered. But yeah, still close enough. You can still wall around it and do things here. There's this coastal trade post with the desert trader and the Mangadai. There are no Byzantines player here. And very interesting, you have, wow, this little river here, loads of crossings with loads of shallow shoreline fish, I should say, not shallow fish. Yeah, river goes all the way. There's a lot of gold and some even deer and a boar hidden in this patch of the sacred site. 2 trade posts. 2 trade posts like this makes me think that Byzantines and mega random can really be a box of chocolates here. You can just get anything. On the other hand, we're getting Imperial Academy from Kanki. Well, this is something that we've been seeing a lot lately, right? Even at Pro Game, where people go Imperial Academy first, and they get all of their officials from the Imperial Academy, instead of getting the first official from the TC, which does make you a villager richer, but it does make does mean that you don't get that early boost of wood, and you get a little bit of a slower trickle of resources. So better in the mid game, worse in the very early game. I don't know, late game doesn't really make much of a difference, especially after workers start dying. Kanki going heavy on stone here. I sense a build there. One that we've seen already in this edition of the Joust here. Go watch the first week if you're on YouTube. So we have here a mill and some deer for Pat. DC, we're gonna get a council hall, very retreated council hall. If I didn't know, if we don't know how Kanki plays, I would be out here on Pat a little bit. Just why on earth are you building your council hall in the back? But against Kanki, you really don't want to give him anything to destroy, because you'll kind of ignore it, and you want your buildings close to where the army's needed. So usually the council hall would be built in this expanse here somewhere alongside here. Don't bother with space for farms with English. Farms are around mills, not around the town center. So now we're getting immediately double production of longbows. Longbows are slightly cheaper here with the council hall, which actually helps them a lot. Up Not just the push, but also helps the economy. Why did he send the longbow to the TC? Was that a misclick? I have no idea here. Alright, so Kanki on stone, Pat scouts it. I think I can, yeah, no, this is Kanki. So if we swap over, there you go, just scouted that. Doesn't quite know the base. So he doesn't know that he's still on gold, doesn't know the Imperial Academy. See, we already have one Imperial official, he's just out there collecting a lot of gold. Imperial official are a very interesting unit. By design, they are kind of inefficient and collecting gold because they have to walk a lot. So the more spread out your buildings are, the worse it's gonna be. But once it's overseeing something, then they are quite good. Alright, so we have the campfire here. Campfire, well, actually increases the gather rate of villagers, huntable animals, so campfire here would actually be good. But I don't know, just costs 25 wood as well, so it's not something that you in the early game want to do all the time. Oh, something to think about there. Oh, can't give it a lot of workers on stone. I would cap stone workers at 8. Where's the guy going? He's building a dock? He's building a dock. Oh, campfire around here, and you're getting lucky. These longbow are gonna do so much damage. I failed to consider a Chinese player without any defenses. Alright, we're getting a stable. I'm trying to play a bit more of a stable game. No, don't lose the official. The official is just so expensive. Now, Pat, does he see that? What Pat sees is so important here. He does see one stable. Doesn't see the double stable. The double stable could actually be very important. I think you want half the number of longbowmen into horsemen. Make sure that you win, of course. Only a few horsemen can be so impactful. No upgrades as well. No. Don't kill it. Oh, 3 HP, but Pat's going in, double dipping. What does Kanki know? That's something. Okay, I think he knows about this. So this could be something that he could push. And this longbowman will not stop a horseman. Oh, you can push that! You have double the amount of army in horsemen. The 2 ranged armor against an upgraded longbowman is so good. But also they have the palisades. Are these palisades? Yeah, palings. They have palings. So you want to be careful. You don't want to hit them head on. Also, not using the stock here is Kanki. Kanki has a bit of a wood problem, but he can collect this patch, no problem. So, the game is a little bit too much at a standstill here. Yeah, let's keep reminding our opponent that our army is in our base. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Pat see where the limit is and just stand there with his army in hold position. But everything else here is doing pretty well. It's trying to be active, trying to pick off any stray workers or any stray Imperial officials, trying to stay too much out of the way of these horsemen. Too late now. There's a spear. Oh, killing this. Don't stop to kill the scout. Alright, good pullback. You're gonna lose 1 scout. Or are you? Wow, he saved the scout. That's pretty awesome. So we have 1200 stone. That stone should be used to make walls here, I suppose. Pat is watching this. We go over to Pat's line of sight here. You will be seeing that. Trying to take this gold, that is extremely bold. I think that was a misclick. Kanki here doesn't have enough... Oh, he does have enough resources to keep making the horsemen. And he needs to, even though we should be starting to see the Congo line of spears around here. It's, This is what should tell him, though, that he needs to retreat. Oh, but it's so late. Oh, and there's a longbowman over here. Oh, Pat covering all his bases. We're watching Pat's line of sight here. Because Kanki's gonna sneak. We know that, but I want to see how much he's gonna sneak. Oh, Kanki could actually have attacked and killed both of those spears, but he would have lost like a horseman or two in the process. Alright, no, you have to dip. That's... Nah, not a good fight. That's really not a good fight. Loses another Imperial official. Yeah, Pat just brushed perfectly here. And losing all of the army. Oh, there we go, we have a transport. 16 workers on the transport. That's a trader ship? Oh, a trade ship here, trading with the coastal trade post. That is genius. That is absolutely genius. Kanki's gonna be so wealthy. Alright, building stone walls in your own base. Not ideal, but sometimes you have to. And I'm gonna keep tabs here. Oh, I can't add my own control groups because I have Pat selected here, but I really want to see what Pat sees all the time here. Oh, building a stone wall tower! Building a stone wall tower. There are units here. Nope. Pat is watching over this crossing. Pat is watching over this crossing. Good on Kanki for coming over to the side, much more sneaky. Oh, I don't think... oh, Pat doesn't see that, but he sees this! He sees this! He can't expect a transport ship somewhere, but now we have Stonewall Towers. 4 workers were killed in that engagement. But, yeah, Stonewall Towers are too rich for his blood. And, we do have to see a retreat here. Wow, English is the worst Civ to do this against. He can attack the workers with their own workers. It's just... Oh, does Pat see? Pat sees. Oh no, Pat sees that. And he can just chases straight after them. These are Chinese workers though. They build very fast. That's a Barbican of the Sun though. Just select all of these in attack move. There we go. For into the tower. The tower is going to attack the Barbican of the Sun, so that's not a thing here. That's going to affect the game too much. But all of those workers will die. Wow, and it's going to be game. Saves the money. Saves the money from the Barbican. But he just quickly loses 20 workers. And, like, he's safe for now, but he won't be safe for long. So the dock is dead, so the trader is not even trading. That trader actually could have been important to get gold. Because, like, Pat is covering all the golds here. And Kanki just gives up, and that's a 2-0 series win for Pat. Wow, what a defense here in map number 2. The map number 1, he fell for the Delhi play, but here he defended perfectly. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next series. Peace out.